What's up, guys? It's Team Wagy, and I'm going to be doing an update on my bass boat, so stay tuned. Alright guys, so I don't remember what I really went into on the last video. I know I had a few upgrades done to the boat, but I've done quite a bit more since then. And I found out a few more issues and stuff like that. So I'm just going to do a run through. The trailer, not much new on the trailer. I think last time I said I put the new lights on, wiring, trailer winch up front, and then the rollers. Now, I still have to do one more roller. I just can't do it until the boat's off the trailer. But I have almost all the stuff to do that except the big roller itself. But that's really it with the trailer. I'm going to have to do, definitely going to have to do carpet on the bunks. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see under here, but the carpet is really coming undone. I know it's really dark, but it's definitely going to need new carpet. But I'm going to put that off until I get the money to do so. Anyway, starting off with the boat now. I've gotten all the electronics working to where every switch works. I just need a trolling motor battery. I'll show you that in the back. But if we look at this panel here, aerator switch turns on. I'm not sure if you can hear it in the back, but it's on. That light does work, as I'll demonstrate here. So, pulling this switch out once turns the front on. You can see the reflection there in the garage window. And then pulling it out twice brings both on. And then we have the bilge pump. It's the same kind of switch on the other side. And you should be able to hear it. And that's really the only controls up here. And then you just have a little 12-volt plug for chargers and whatnot. I'll talk about the graph in a minute. I just want to make sure I get everything covered up front. This pedestal seat, I don't know if I had that in the boat at the time or not. I just wanted to show you. Trolling motor, it works, as I'll demonstrate. And I got the pedal screwed down, so it's not going to come up, hopefully. If it does, I'll just figure out another way. There's not really anything with this. It's just a live well / compartment. I'm probably just going to use it as a compartment most of the time. I haven't done anything in there. The boat obviously needs new carpet, but I'm not going to do that quite yet. Like I said, I want to get the boat running and driving on the water. I haven't even had this thing out on the water yet. And I've owned it since last August, so it's been a while that I've owned it. One thing about doing a project that you guys should always think of, sorry about that, is double the amount of time it takes and double the amount of money that you think it's going to take to complete the project, and you might be close to how long it's going to take. You might buy a project and think, oh, I'll have it done in 2 months, and then 6 months later, you're like 3/4 of the way done. So always know when you get into a project, there's going to be stuff you find that you didn't see when you bought it, and stuff like that. I definitely learned that on this boat. So from here, I have this cooler here that I'm going to be using since this boat obviously doesn't have a cooler. So I got that one pretty cheap. I'll go over on that side to show you the compartment in a minute. Anyways, now at the console, we're back. I think I showed you I had the steering wheel painted last time. This is the graph. It's a HDS 8 Gen 1. That front graph there is an HDS 5 Gen 1. I need a ram mount for it before I can mount it, but I have everything else for it. I got these used on eBay. This one, with everything to mount it, was about $400, and that front one, it came with everything but this bracket here, which my dad actually had. He came in clutch on that. So it had that and the wiring for $130, and it actually came with a Navionics chip that I didn't even know about, so I ended up selling that for about $50. So I'm not into that one too much. I'll turn this one on for you. It's all hooked up. It'll take a while to load. HDS Gen 1 units, they are pretty slow. Software-wise, there's not much difference between those and like a Gen 2 on my dad's boat, except for the speed. So it does take a while. Trying to think of anything else I've done up here. Underneath, I did a new fuse box, and then a bus bar for the negative. The old one was really corroded. Not corroded, but just, I don't know how to explain it. The contacts weren't very clean on them, and I tried cleaning it, and it was still giving me issues, so I just replaced it. But as you can see, we have the graph on. But you see what I'm talking about? That warning sign hasn't gone off yet, and I clicked the button a while ago. I have my dad's avionics chip in there right now, so that's why the lake looks pretty sweet. Sorry about the flickering. But if I zoom in here, all of the lines come up and everything. I think more comes up if you have the fishing chips on, but I just want to show you that. Now coming back here, the seats, I definitely want to change these out because these seats are so cheap, not comfortable, and these backs are way too high on them. This compartment lid ends up hitting it. It's just not a good seat. The seat I want is on, sorry about that. The seat I want is on bassboatseats.com, and they're just their low back seats, but they're $90 a piece. So that'll be a while before I have that. This compartment here, don't really have anything in it except the fire extinguisher that the boat came with. Did some cleaning on that. The boat is kind of dusty right now, so if you notice that, I'm sorry. It's just because it's been sitting here for so long. Like you can see, there's a bunch of sand there that actually over time it's just been coming out of these lids as I open them. This right here, it's just a new water impeller. It's a good idea to replace it when you get a used boat because you don't know the age on the old one, and you really don't want all the fins breaking off when you're running the boat because it will overheat. So now this I think is where the biggest change is going to be from the last video. I don't think I had 2 fuel tanks in it. I keep covering the camera. Okay. I don't think I have 2 fuel tanks in it. Here's the battery. I have one battery tray open on this side and then one on the other side. This is supposed to come around and strap, but I just had the battery out. I was doing some stuff, so I haven't quite clipped it back in. As you can see, that's the other battery tray. So these are the 2 tanks, and as you can see, the line runs up to this. Now this took me a long time to get set up. It's a fuel valve, and I actually bought some aluminum angle iron so it bends up and back, and 2 screws that hold it on right there and there, and then the bolt that holds these lids on, that middle bolt, I have it up there sandwiched in between some washers and the nut, and it was really hard to get that bolted up without dropping everything, but I finally got it, and that's where that's at. The fuel tank, 2 6-gallons is what they are. As you can see, I have a new bilge pump right there. I actually got it at a flea market, and my dad did, and it was super cheap, so I'm glad for that. And then the 2 live oil pumps were actually in there when I got the boat, and they still work. So as long as they work, I'm going to run with them for now. Now this is going to be the breaker for the trolling motor. I didn't have that last time for sure, although that's only set up on here temporarily because I do plan on getting the trolling motor battery here pretty soon. I'm going to need a new one of these. I think they're about $30 online, not too bad. The motor. So last time, pretty sure I mentioned that the trim and tilt didn't work. And if you look here, we have trim and tilt. So what I had to do is replace this trim motor. As you can see, that piece there, it looks nice and new with the blue and green wires going into it. That motor I had to replace. And the old motor, what had happened to it is water got in it and it was completely rusted solid. All the brushes in there, completely rusted solid. So I got that on there. That's a little bit of remnants from when I filled the oil up. You want to make sure it's topped off to the fill hole. But I got that working. So that's a really, really awesome thing. I'm really happy I got that fixed because that was one of the issues that the guy told me about on this boat. Now, here's another issue that I was not aware of when I bought the boat, and it's kind of my fault for not even checking. And that is that the lower unit had water in it. Now, of course, you can't see it here because oil floats, but I drained this thing and it was about 70% water and 30% oil. Now, it's pretty smooth. I don't feel any sort of weirdness in there, but I'm going to have a buddy mechanic of mine. He's going to go through and tune the motor and reseal the lower unit and install that water impeller I bought. And that's going to be one of the biggest expenses on this boat for me. It's going to be about $700 for all that. But that's going to include a new spark plug, new fuel filter, stuff like that. And obviously resealing a lower unit, that's pretty tough. So this prop is also new. It's an aluminum prop. I want to get my steel prop fixed. I think in the last video I said that that prop was aluminum, but it's definitely steel. I was incorrect on that if I did say that. This one's aluminum just to get me by for now. Hopefully I don't hit anything, because if I do, it's just going to fold up. But that's the motor, and it works. I'll show you it go down. So I can get around here. Now this side I'm pretty excited about. I have an onboard battery charger here, which I think I bought it at a flea market. I've been getting a ton of stuff at the flea market for this thing. It's kind of crazy. I paid, I think, $70 for it. I think new they're a little over 100, so I saved a little bit on it. And it works just great. It's made to charge 2 batteries. I just have it hooked up to the one right now, obviously. But when I get that new trolling motor battery, it's going to go right here. And as you can see here, here's that other fuel tank. This is the one that actually came with the boat. So that's the battery compartment. Not much else in there. I'm probably going to use it to store things that I don't use often, like tools and stuff. You know, I'm not going to put any tackle in here, I don't think. Also, what I have installed with this is the Marine Co. This also came from the flea market, crazy, but it's the Marine Co. Plug, sorry about my fingers, that goes on the side of the boat. Now, one pet peeve I do have with this is it is tight to pull out. I'll see if I can do it here. And it's kind of finicky trying to keep the charger on with it. But man, it's tight. But that closes up like that. And that's one of the features I'm super happy about, because you don't have to have the cable running through this compartment and whatnot. I also have this pedestal here. So I'm probably not going to run these very often. I don't think I want one in the front just because the deck space is so small. But we'll see when I get out there and actually start fishing with it. I'll see if I like it or not. Here is that other compartment. I just have a few little things in there. These scissors, I love these things. A buoy and then a clip for the engine. And this is just the live well, the first live well. This is the one I'm going to end up using. I got some cold tags in there. And sorry about my front deck being all covered with some of my fishing stuff. I really don't have a place to put it right now, other than that. This is obviously the rod box. I got a couple, 3 rods in here. Surprisingly, this thing can hold up to 8-foot rods, which I was super shocked with, because I thought it would hold maybe 7-foot rod. But it goes all the way up to like the very tip up there. It's all open underneath. We talked about the front. I'll talk a little bit more about the trolling motor here. I got new wire. This is obviously a plug. I think if I went back, I might not have done the plug, because really all these plugs are for chargers to charge your trolling motor batteries. And your charger would have, you know, this male plug on it. But I just put it on there because I already had the spot for this. I guess it makes it easier to remove the trolling motor if I need to switch them out. But I also thought about just running the wires straight through and putting a little rubber grommet on the hole. Other than that, guys, I don't think I have much else that I've done to this. I think maybe in the last video I talked about how I changed out this head because it was cracked. You can see the color difference. Obviously, this is the new, this is the old. But that is the boat, guys. So, thanks for watching this video. If you have any ideas of what I should do to this thing, please let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a like. And I should be coming out with more videos on the boat. It just depends on what I get for it and stuff. I'll definitely try to film the first day on the water with it. And just stay tuned for any future content. I know I haven't been uploading a lot in quite a while. It's been kind of a trend, but busy with college and stuff. But thanks for watching this video, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you made it this far, you're the type of guys that I really appreciate watching this channel. So thanks for watching, and remember, no one said winning is easy. Thanks, guys.